What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for September 13th, 2022. Today is one of my all-time favorite ones. And on this day in 2007, the Phillies beat the Rockies 12-4, which turned out to be the first win of a 9 out of 10 streak that they would go on. The biggest and best, I think, story of this whole thing is they came into that day trailing the Mets in second place of the division by 7 games with 17 to play. And I think they were out of the wild card by like 2.5 games, 3 games, somewhere in there. They were in contention, but they were kind of floundering a little bit. So what's key about this day, like I said, is they started that whole 9 out of 10 streak, which coincided, which I believe, thinking back, it was a 4-game sweep. And if it wasn't a 4-game sweep, it was at least a 3-game sweep of those Mets. So the Phillies actually did catch them to win the division on the last day of the season. One of the most hyped I've been in years at that point for the Phillies. I just remember being super, super excited. And even though it was short-lived because they lost to the Rockies and they got swept 3-0 in NLDS that year, which the Rockies ended up going to the World Series. So I don't know if there's any shame in losing that. But the seed was planted. The following year in 2008, they went on to win the World Series, and I think they caught the Mets. The Mets choked again. And to me, there's nothing better in all of sports as a Philly fan than seeing Mets teams choke, which they're in the process of doing it right now, and I could not be happier, except for the fact that there's a chance that the Phillies might have to play them in the playoffs, which I want no parts of. But seeing the Mets choke definitely brings me way more joy than anything the Cowboys or Giants do. I just don't know why. I think it's maybe because the two franchises are kind of similar, close in geography. I don't know what it is, but just the whole seeing the Mets chokes, their fans come down to the stadium, and it's a good time. It's one of my favorite rivalries in all of Philly sports that we have. Definitely been to a few Sunday Phillies games. Actually, just not even Sunday, but when we had the Sunday package. Just always fun busting Mets fans' balls and playing around like that. But this day in Philly sports history, or September 13th, I don't want to get ahead of myself yet. September 13th, 2007, the Phillies beat the Rockies 12-4. Was the start of their hunting down the Mets, catching them, and then passing them for the NL East division that year. Again, it's kind of planted that seed for those teams moving forward. They won in 08. They went back in 09. That was the golden era of Philly sports, or Philadelphia Phillies sports. So be sure to be on the lookout for a new Back to the Future coming tonight. Might not be uploaded and everything until tomorrow, but the new episode is coming. Make sure you check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok, Jimbo_Mont. Check out my YouTube channel. I put the podcast as well as all of this day in Philly sports history on there. Want to try to start getting some more content, branching out a little bit. If you follow the podcast, you know I'm trying to hit that algorithm, whatever that means. But go have a Tuesday. The Phillies are still hanging in there, so I don't want to necessarily jinx them. More on that in the podcast later today. But happy Tuesday, everyone. Make sure you subscribe and like, and I will see you when I see you.